Comedy is timeless. So how did something I love become unwatchable? I couldn't see the value, but the truth forever changed me. Let's find out why films can't thrive without it. For Zootopia, there are moments I forget it's a comedy, lost in the emotions, to the point I had to remind myself this is for kids. Like the film, I experienced this on PBS, an educational channel, but that didn't hinder the heart of my favorite show, Sabwa. Sure, it's humorous, but its message hits with incomparable force. Yeah, I prefer the Chinese Siamese above the greats. In 2016, entering that theater, I never thought Zootopia would dominate. I didn't think I would laugh, let alone cry. But looking back through childhood, comedy always felt distracting. I envisioned Power Rangers would be better without Bulk and Skull. I wish these teenagers rebelled actual threats and not glorified bullies. And then I got my wish. I learned to appreciate Super Sentai through Power Rangers. I was curious why O-Ranger is so detested. So what happened when giving it a chance? Are you aware Batman and Robin is ironically enjoyable? It's so awful. I laugh from beginning to end. But what is it doing right that O-Ranger fails in? Media needs to be entertaining. That is where season 19 defies. O-Ranger is so serious, the boredom is tangible, but that wouldn't affect Power Rangers, right? Did this tone bleed into Zeo? I only enjoyed the first 2 episodes. The remainder of the season stagnated. David and Heather's arcs ended in unfulfillment. Then the formula resets next week. Nothing learned, nothing gained. To expand this hot take, I prefer Turbo. Obnoxious, unhinged, and moments of what the heck happened to Power Rangers. But it has personality. It's entertaining. Atrocity leaves an impression, not mediocrity. You know, this is our 3rd Ranger team. But how does that relate to a 3rd Zootopia? It's a trope as old as the sequel. The inferior 3rd installment, known as the threequel curse. Fans fail to connect. It's second nature to be wary of number 3. 9 months after the sequel, the 3rd is greenlit. History proves the right for concern, but I don't look back on Turbo negatively. Now, I'm going to show you how I came to respect this season. I met Nakia Burrese and Hilary Shepard. She loved playing Divatox, explaining it's a fond role she looks back on. Her voice is no different 30 years later. Angelic, exactly like Judy. But even this beloved doe brings her imperfections to light. We root for her aspirations, empathize through her struggle. But then she breaks this permeated image. Suddenly, we take Nick's side, viewing the light of his life in darkened outlook. This is when Zootopia breaks the fictional barrier. You forget you're watching a comedy. Now, let's explore how it all came together. Judy's message ties everything. In the last moment, we see her true self through Nick's eyes. Disney changed how people viewed Anthros. But to appreciate this humor, I needed to witness Power Rangers without it. Ever since, I welcome the lighthearted tones. Subplot variety adds to the narrative message. To simply label buddy cop comedy is like calling Signs a drama. The reality, it rivals horror icons. Zootopia's bright, humorous trailers draw the children, but its impact breaks the innocence. Childhood bliss clawed by reality. Yet, what additional film pulls off this innocence? Wolfwalkers. Yes, It's one I actively compare to Disney's masterpiece. But 10 years later, it's a strife to compare any movie, even the sequel. To this day, I can't choose a victor. But there lies the beauty, leaving that theater and the film sticking with you. I want media to transcend, challenging outlooks, altering the mindset in less than 2 hours. But how does it affect the viewers who are now adults? Kids connect with Judy at the start, and when they mature, her role and losses create new perspective. Few movies can do that. Heck, it's who Pixar answered, the generation they raised, now preparing for college. Toy Story 3 promised the decade ahead, but began with cash-grabbing doubts. But which movies follow this success? I have the answer. In my Films Everyone Doubted video. Link is below. 6 years later, Zootopia broke the anthro mold. But what if I told you the movie breaks out of its own genre? After analyzing the plot, the findings blindsided me. For that analysis, check out this video. Link is below. None are at fault for doubting the third, but it's a familiar hesitance. 2 recedes skepticism. New concerns surface from trailer to reel. Now, compare these doubts with the resolution. 2016 exceeded everyone's expectations, including Disney. If the final result needed the darkness to endure, the ends justify the means. Both films knocked it out. Don't dread the third movie curse. Look to the reputation behind Zootopia. Disney fooled the doubters twice. I'm ready for 3. My next video bridges my love of Star Fox with Zootopia. Regardless, I'll make my return next week. Thank you for your part in this rated exploited endeavor.